Hi guys, welcome to the No Pressure podcast. Today you're joined by myself, Emma, and Robin.
Hello.
That was very enthusiastic.
I know.
I absolutely love that.
I'm just sitting here behind a professional mic, so I'm feeling quite
I know.
kind of good with myself.
I'm actually kind of jealous. I've got mic envy right now.
Well, you should.
Look at mine. It's
So I
tiny.
can move it around. I can gesticulate.
I know, it's great. So, this is the podcast where we talk about everything from creative inspiration to mic envy to everything that's just on our minds, basically. And we will try not to diverge too much, although I can't make any promises. So, in this podcast, we're going to do 3 segments. So, the first one is just talking about our week. The second segment is basically talking about our creative inspiration that we may have had this week. And the third one is one I'm a little bit nervous about because it's the quick fire questions.
I've got some great questions.
Okay.
You'll love them. Don't worry.
Okay. I'm glad it comes last. I've got time to build up my confidence.
All I'm going to ask for is your PIN number, your credit card details, just normal questions.
Well, funny enough, I actually can't remember any of those, so you won't get very far.
It's from contact list.
Perks of dyslexia is that I can't remember anything important. So.
Because you got contact lists. You don't need to remember PIN numbers. I actually cannot remember most of mine.
Can you not?
I can't remember my credit card one.
No,
so
I can't.
I don't use it in shops because I only use it online because I don't know the PIN.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I find out. I think probably for an app, but
probably, or you just reset it or something.
Yeah.
I
haven't bothered.
I mean, to be fair, have you ever been caught out though? When you go to I don't know what the word is.
Well, contact us.
Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
And it makes you put it in.
Yeah.
I've always had a card on me. The only times I've been, I guess you would say, caught out is when I've forgotten my card. And
yeah,
so,
that's an issue. You can't use your PIN for that, can you?
Yeah, and then I've had to kind of do that shameful, I've got to put everything back.
The walk of shame.
Well, not quite so much that, but I just had to put everything back. And it's darn it. And then luckily that was a Tesco. I lived about 10 minutes away from.
You can just shoot back.
So
sprint.
Just pop back, came back with my card. So I do have money on this.
Back again. Hi.
We've digressed.
We have. I said we wouldn't, but I think it's just gonna happen. So it's gotta do it. So I thought we'd start off by just talking about who we actually are. Give some background to ourselves. Should we talk about our roles? I think that's probably a good place to start off with.
Who are you, stranger?
Who am I?
Who let you in?
Oh, I don't know actually. I just kind of walked in. Just thought, do you know what? I fancy doing a podcast today.
Just wandered in and gave you a job.
Yeah, basically.
It's the mics, you see. That's why you've got that one.
I know. I was thinking that. That's the reason, isn't it? All this time.
This is mine.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So I'll start. I'm a graphic designer at RTS Group. So I touch everything from video content to animation to UX UI and illustration, literally a bit of everything, which really suits me because I'm very much one of those people who like to do everything. I get very passionate about things, which you might know. I get very excited. So I think the role suits me really, really well because I'm a just overall very, very creative person. I did two degrees.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned that.
What I'd let you know again. The first one was in fine art and the second one was in graphic art. So very kind of creative, arty degrees, if you'd say. So yes, that's who I am. Robin, who are you?
That's a question I ask myself
every day.
Yeah.
Do you get anywhere with that?
So a deep philosophical question. Who am I? What makes me me?
Do you have an existential crisis on the floor?
Every day.
Every day.
No, I'm Robin. I'm one of the creative media developers because we've got more than one on graphics. I make stuff. I am given stuff to do and I go and get it done. Essentially.
You do a pretty good job.
Usually, head up the more technical projects when it comes to development and e-learning and authoring. I've actually been doing it for nearly 10 years now.
That's crazy.
It's also crazy for me. It's quite scary. It's not something I ever thought I'd do, and I have now done it for nearly a decade.
How did you get started though? I don't think I know this. with like, how did you get into
I
developing?
got a degree at uni at just
Yeah.
one.
Just the what? Is that it?
Technically, I mean, it is kind of a split degree, so it sounds like I could have had two. So it's multimedia and graphics design.
Okay. Oh, is it?
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm stealing your thunder. And I graduated. Yay.
Woo.
Job one accomplished.
Mm.
I applied for a few different jobs, and I found there wasn't a lot of call for media, like multimedia jobs that weren't production based, and I
Yeah.
didn't have a degree in production. I know this professional setup
Yeah.
confuses you because you'd look at it and think, "Oh, he has got a degree in production," but I don't. And I
So
ended
your
up
third degree now?
applying. I ended up applying for. I'm just ignoring that. I ended up applying for a job at an e-learning studio over in Bath, and I got it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hooray!
Yeah.
And then I came here. This is like next step up.
That's interesting.
And I've ended up just doing a whole bunch of different like jobs inside the e-learning sphere. If I want to sound like I'm a management type, saying random words like ecosystem of e-learning and
It makes you sound like
sphere of development.
bougie. Yeah.
That's my plan. It makes me sound like I know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. We just nod our heads.
So yeah, I'm going to occasionally also remember to look at the camera and not
Hey,
just
guys.
at you. I've
Awesome.
been, yeah, I stayed doing it. I must
That's awesome.
enjoy it, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I do really.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. Have you, I mean, so you said you've been doing it for 10 years. Have you noticed a change in the industry massively? In what way?
I mean, every industry changes.
Of course,
but
yeah.
what you had produced maybe even 5 years ago, you wouldn't build now.
Okay.
I think there's a lot more of an emphasis on interactivity,
Yeah.
on making it more learner friendly.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot more kind of, here's a load of text, it's spoken, and then you click on the next button.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
learning has changed massively anyway,
Yeah.
just from
Our understanding
video
of it.
learning,
Yeah.
like micro learning's a lot more popular, TikTok, Instagram,
Yeah,
YouTube.
Yeah.
If I wanted to look up, say, how to get 2 microphones to record in Audacity, I would look it up on YouTube. I
Yeah.
didn't do that just before this, honest. I did. But surely you would notice as well that, say, how you studied on your first degree would have changed to how you were doing it at the end of your second one.
Massively, like even now, because I feel, constantly, do learning. I do like Udemy courses, as you know, and then
Yeah, so video learning.
so video learning. But I think for me the best way to do it, and I think this is why I like Udemy quite a lot, is that I like to do it in short chunks. It's just the way my attention span works, and the way, going back to this dyslexia thing again, that's how it suits my way of learning, like my brain. So it's a very interesting brain.
I get it though, because with stuff like Udemy, I've not used it, but I know of it, and it is all broken down into chunks. So it is essentially a whole bunch of micro learning
It is, yeah.
into one course.
Yeah.
And I think if you sat down and you were presented with a 50-minute video, it would feel a lot more daunting than if you've got like 10 5-minute videos.
Yeah, I think you get also like a bit more of a sense of accomplishment, because you see that actually you've completed various videos, whereas if it's like one big video, then as you said, I would feel really daunted, and also I wouldn't get that kind of feeling of satisfaction as quickly. And I think it's that satisfaction that makes me want to do more.
Yeah.
It's a good old dopamine going on in my brain. That's what makes me want to do more. So I think that's why it's very interesting. I find it really interesting how we all learn. I think, especially growing up as someone who didn't find learning very easy, and now I know more about myself, so now I do find it much easier. I just find it really fascinating the way that we pick things up differently and how our brains, like how I think, I don't know which side it is, the left or the right, but I use my brain slightly differently to most people. Yeah, I know. So I just find that really fascinating how we're wired so differently.
While we're having this kind of deeper philosophical conversation on learning, how we learn, I think, changes as well. Because when I was at school, I was very much book learning. I was great at math and science.
All right, show off.
But I just had no interest in art. Yeah, I ended up getting a degree that was very art heavy. And I think I couldn't do like a math or science degree. I started trying to do IT. I got 3 A levels in it and just realized it's not for me.
It's interesting.
And I suddenly found I was quite creative quite late in life, I think, theoretically. I was end of secondary school.
Do you know what changed your mind? Or like, you may not have changed your mind, but do you know what triggered that in you?
I think part of it was I got into Photoshop at the tail end of secondary school.
Okay.
Kind of all self-taught or following. You didn't really have videos back then, but you had tutorial sites. And it was all like screenshots of what TikTok didn't exist. Neither did Thinker, which is TikTok. Old school, before it was called TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Used to be called Thinker.
I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much today.
Little Robin factoid there. That would be a segment.
Yeah.
Robin facts.
Robin facts. The facts of Robin.
But yeah, I think I started getting into that and enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who was into it and enjoyed it at school together. So I think we ended up almost doing our own little art class between us in a sense. And I'd never had that before and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Which I guess kind of leads us into our next kind of inspiration segment.
Our next segment.
Which we're calling the Inspiration Zone.
Woohoo!
With Matthias and Emma
and
Robin.
Me. I love how you did that. That was really like inspiring. Can I just say? I feel like really moved right now. So.
You have to cut because you're crying.
Yeah. Got in a minute. Who's been your biggest inspiration? It can be this week, it can be in general, it doesn't have to be your biggest, but like what do you find really inspiring for you? It can literally be anything.
I've been watching videos from a audio technician, trying to learn more about audio, which I'm starting to pick up eventually.
He's doing good, to be fair.
When I can get 2 channels to work, which I did. There's a little bit of mic bleed. I can see it right there. Mine, fine.
Just don't look over there.
I blame that little lav mic. If you had a nice like fancy mic like me, which
I have no words right now.
Yeah, I know. That's bad for a podcast. You need words. So yeah, I've been watching this audio technician and learning a lot.
Yeah.
It's something I very basic knowledge of. We covered a little bit at uni. But we did a videography module, which was more video, and audio was very much secondary.
Yeah, okay.
So learning about audio, just how it works, it's very interesting. Yeah. Actually, when you start looking at it, it's quite complicated.
There's so much to it. I just don't know how you pick it up and remember it. I think because I'm such a visual person, I just don't know how you keep it to stick in your brain.
Well, the thing with audio is there's nothing to see.
Yeah, that's the issue.
But you notice good audio to bad audio almost immediately. So I'm hoping when I listen to this, it's good audio.
That would be good, yeah. Especially coming from my mic. Well,
what about you?
Oh my gosh. Surprise, surprise. Mine's a mixture of a lot of different things because I can't stick to one thing. I think, again, it's just the way my brain is. So I'm going to start off really basic, and at the moment, my source of inspiration is honestly music. I think a lot of people get inspiration from music. I'm a little bit hot and cold with it. Sometimes I'll be like completely obsessed with it, and then other times I'm like, no, I can't listen to music. I don't know why, but it's just the way it goes with me. And today, especially, I've been listening to a lot of like kind of 2010 music, and I've had a bit of a throwback, and it's been like so amazing because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot this like band existed or like this song existed. I've been listening to the script quite a lot.
It's scary that 2010 is your throwback, because for me it's kind of like early 2000s is my
I
throwback.
was a little bit young back then, so.
Like all my pop punk was Sum 41, Blink 182,
I do know
Green
these
Day,
bands,
Good Charlotte.
but I know them.
That's like my childhood.
Yeah, no, it's not mine. I was a little bit too young for that.
Bangers, every single one.
That was kind of when I was listening to ABBA, but that was influenced by my parents more than anything else. But when I started listening to music, it was kind of like Lady Gaga era when she like first came in.
Basically, that was the end of pop punk.
Yeah.
It went from that to pop.
Yeah, I think that's the best I can do. But no, so I've been listening to the script today and just been there because I've been doing a lot of Figma, as you will know, and been getting really into it and doing a lot of like web design and stuff like that. And it's been so much fun, and it just really helps. I feel when you've got like a really good beat, kind of motivating you and inspiring you. So that's been really cool, kind of like going back to my childhood.
Well,
so,
how are you getting on with Figma?
do you know what? So I have done it in the past a bit, and this is the first time in a while that I've actually picked it up again, and I've kind of been, I've done this amount with it, and I've been doing more prototyping and also just making it more interactive now, and it's honestly just like so much fun. I can do it for ages, I can do it for hours. I'm happy doing it for hours, to be fair. So, but I feel like it's just, I'm just picking it up really, really easy, not to boast too much or to like blow my own trumpet.
Low-key brag.
Yeah, it's a high-key brag actually.
Well, yeah.
But I think it's all right. I think it's all right to brag about yourself sometimes.
There was literally nothing low-key about that.
No, it wasn't. Not intended.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
And it does look good. It's looking
I thought
nice.
you were going to say something scary then. I have seen it.
It's quite interesting because it's almost kind of approaching what I would do in development work.
It's not far off, is
because it's, setting all the button states, telling it where to go, doing all the functionality in that respect. So it's not far off what I would do on a day-to-day job.
Just less technical, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a million miles away from some of the software I'd use.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more front end. There's nothing
not back end
going on in Mac, but it looks nice.
Thank you.
It'll make my job easier because I'll know
what to do,
what it's supposed to look like, and how everything's supposed to function.
No, I feel like it's just a lot of fun, and it's like a maze like I get to put together. It's like a puzzle, and I just seem to really enjoy it. So.
You've also had quite a lot of autonomy doing it, haven't you?
No, I have definitely.
Have you found that helpful?
Yeah, I found it quite fun. I find it quite, I like the freedom, and I feel like I'm more creative sometimes. It depends, who I'm listening to, what mood I'm in. But I definitely have found the freedom to be creative really helpful.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense? I feel like when you're given more space, then it just allows your kind of creative part of your brain to just go a bit wild. So I think we are on to segment 3 now, which is the quickfire quiz.
Or 5 to 7 questions said quickly for you to answer. Challenge.
No, I prefer the first version.
I have got them written on paper because I can't remember them.
I'm ready.
Right.
Good. Right. Got my legs up.
They're fine. There's nothing to be scared about.
Okay.
I'm not actually going to ask you about credit cards and stuff. So all I want is either A or B. It's just like binary questions.
Cool. Okay.
We'll start off Illustrator or Procreate.
Illustrator.
Too much white space or not enough?
Too much.
TikTok or Insta for inspiration?
Oh, that's such a horrible question. How could you actually do this to me?
Do you like the way I said I call them by their real names? I didn't say
you
TikTok
didn't say
or the gram.
I've been, basically for context, I've been training Robin to not say gram or the gram, as you say, because it's just
It'll always be the gram and TikTok.
No. Oh my gosh, no.
You're not answering the question here. These are supposed
I
to
know,
be
I'm
quick
trying to
fire.
avoid it because I can't answer that. I'm gonna have to say at the moment, TikTok.
Bauhaus or Baroque?
Bauhaus. I'm very loyal to Bauhaus.
Pixar or DreamWorks?
Oh, you see, in my head that kind of merges. I don't know.
I'm giving you some examples.
gonna-
Pixar,
Yeah,
some examples.
could you?
DreamWorks. Toy Story
Yeah.
is Pixar.
Yeah.
Shrek is DreamWorks.
Okay.
How to Train Your Dragon, DreamWorks.
Okay. DreamWorks.
Monsters
Easy.
Inc. Pixar.
DreamWorks.
Okay. And
Have you seen the animation How to Train Your Dragon? It's literally insane.
yeah, but Pixar's got some good stuff.
Oh no, it totally does. But that
Pixar
movie
started it all.
sold it for me.
They started it all with Toy Story. Anyway, I'm trying to ask you questions.
Sorry.
Last one: grids or freestyle layout?
It depends what I'm doing, honestly. But I'm gonna have to say grids. It depends what I'm doing. If I'm just doing like some illustration or just creating a fancy poster, then I probably won't use grids. But if I'm doing something for work, then I will.
If anyone watches this and they have any questions, they can always send them our way.
Yeah.
One of us will read it out.
Yeah.
It's going to be your turn next.
Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our first official podcast. We had a lot of fun. Well, I had a lot of fun, don't know about you, but
It was alright.
it's alright. That is high praise coming from you.
The
so
second one will
I'll
be a
take
banger.
that. Yeah. And make sure to like, subscribe, even though it's not YouTube. And and yeah, send any comments our way if you are interested in knowing about us or what we do.